What is up, Switch leaders? Couple of things to know for this week at Switch, but before we get there, I want to hit it with a couple of announcements. First things first, we hit 50 student leaders this last Sunday, new record, and it just shows the amount of things just that God is doing over our ministry, in our ministry, through you guys, and what we get to be a part of is something incredibly special because it's 50 people, 50 students who are stepping into the gifts that God has given them and the talents and using them in the local church. And man, I couldn't be more excited and pumped as we're coming to the end of a semester. Man, God's doing some really cool things. I know he's going to continue to do those things through the rest of the summer and into the following semester. But speaking of that, before we get into this week, I want to give you guys a couple of dates to mark on your calendar. August 2nd is our first night back. But like I said, this week is our last week of Switch. We'll not be there next week. If you show up, nobody's going to be here. I might be in the building crying by myself, but that's my alone time, so leave me alone. But we will not be in the building next week, but we will be coming back August 2nd for leader training night for all of the leaders that are coming into and joining Switch throughout the summer, along with everyone else. So as a whole ministry, all of Switch, everyone will be coming together, and we will be just talking about where are we going to go over that next semester, how are we going to do it, what are we going to be focusing on as leaders, because we know that when we have a game plan and when we are ready to go, man, there's no telling what God's going to do. The way we come prepared, that we know where we're going as a ministry, we're focused on one thing, and we'll talk about that one thing when we get to that. So I've been planning it. I've been thinking about it. I've been praying about it constantly. And just, I know that God's going to do some really cool things through that. We're going to worship together. And then we'll be able to break out into our specific groups and talk about what God's going to do and what we are going to do in partnership with him. And I'm excited for it. I'm pumped. I've been thinking about it forever now. I'm excited. And then following that week, August 9th will be the first night back at Switch. So August 2nd, leader training night. August 9th, first night back at Switch. And then we're going to hit the ground running. Hoping to throw a couple of parties the first couple of weeks at Switch. A lot of bring in, and we're going to build them up, train them, and send them out to invite some more people. I'm excited. I'm really excited, but I'm even more excited for this week at Switch because we are going to be hopping into the last week of tearing down the idols, and I'm going to be talking about 1 Kings chapter 18, just talking about what it looks like after all of these last weeks that we've been talking about tearing down idols with very specific things like money and just all sorts of money, approval, social media, like whatever it is, the idol that is in our students' lives, the different things that they have been putting above God. I'm going to recap that, but what we're going to do is use that to go and take the avenue of how do we make lasting change. Like, we know all of these bad things. We want to change and do good. Let's do it this way. So we're going to be talking about people, persistence, and prayer. So those three things are the key to building lasting change, and we're going to be diving in on that. You can check the leader guide. It's really good, just talking about the ways that we can do that. But I think it was last week in the leader video, I talked about what are you doing this summer that's going to fuel who you come back to be in the fall. So when you come back in the fall, I want to show you what I did this summer. I told you guys I am hopping into 75 hard. I've been doing that, but I've also been diving into a lot more scripture, just taking time to really just focus on who God is and what his word says. So finding ways when you come back in the fall, what are the things that people are going to notice that you did this summer? And I'm going to kind of push that in the message. But what I also wanted to do is how can you partner with your students to do the same thing? So if your students say, man, I really want to read the Bible, I'm going to read the Bible with you as your leader because I want to grow in my knowledge of scripture and who God is alongside of you. Maybe it's, I want to stop hanging out with my bad friends. Hey, as a Switch group, we're still going to hang out every Wednesday. if that fits, great. If just an example, I'm not telling you have to do it, but finding different ways to partner alongside of them in their growth, but also find some way personally that you can be challenged, that you can challenge yourself. And I'd love to know, like, what do you want to do? What do you want to grow in? Because I want to help walk alongside of you in that. So that's going to be the message. That's the theme of the night. But if you have any questions going forward for this week, for next week, for the summer, for coming back to Switch, please do not hesitate to shoot me a text, give me a call. But I look forward to getting to lead one more night of this semester with you guys. And if there's anything I can do for y'all, let me know. Love you guys. See you guys 6:30. Wear your Switch t-shirts, and I can't wait to see y'all there. Peace.